We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Styles Mackenzie helping you make those rooms sing. Today's style tip. When it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild, like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Fierce. This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hello and welcome to the Dragons Lair podcast in association with Riverside Sports Bar, the home for live sport and great burgers in Newport. Joining me for this one, as always, is Gavin Thomas and Gav Leclerc. Hello, gentlemen. How are we?
Yeah, I'm all right, I think, largely.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no. I had boys rugby today, and I did not cover myself in glory as a coach because the ref basically gave a try that shouldn't have been allowed, and I did not deal with it particularly well.
Oh, right. Okay. You kicked off, did you? Was you shouting and swearing?
I wasn't swearing, but I did suggest that if he couldn't keep kids safe, perhaps he shouldn't be refereeing children's rugby.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it's a good point. Gareth, how are you?
Yep, all good. No hangover. So, yeah, looking forward to chatting Dragons.
Excellent. So,
how much of a hangover did you have on Saturday, though, Gareth? Is the key question.
No, do you know what? I wasn't too bad. I wasn't too bad, to be fair. I had a couple of beers watching the game in the house Friday. No, it was all right. Sensible weekend, just needed.
That's unlike you. Sensible weekend.
Roll on next weekend now.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, so we have got a busy pod for you this week. But before we get into it, I want to read a message that I received this week, and it's from a guy called Zane, and he's from New Zealand. And he got in touch. This is what he said. He said, wanted to send some love from New Zealand. I listen to you boys on my 10-hour shifts. It makes work a lot more enjoyable. Bucket list is to get myself down to Ronnie Parade one of these days and take in what sounds like a special rugby experience. What a win over Newcastle, he said. Made my Saturday, that. Keep up the good work on the pod, fellas, and up the Dragons. How cool is that? Zane from New Zealand. Nice one, Zane. We really appreciate that. This pod's going global. People listen to us in New Zealand. I think that's impressive. Mad, isn't it? But yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Zane. Much appreciated. And then, yeah, maybe one day, get yourself down to Ronnie Parade. You can go on the terrace with Gareth. You can have a few pints with him, or you can come in the Bisley with me and you can have a cup of tea and a Kit Kat. That's your choice. Whatever you want to do.
Is it not a cup of tea in a Mars bar?
No, it's always been Kit Kat, Gareth.
Okay, sorry.
Get it right. Mind you, if they don't have Kit Kat, if they've sold out or they don't have it, I will have a Mars bar.
Oh, other chocolates are available.
Of course, yeah. Other confectionery chocolates are available, of course. Right, let's get into it. News desk. Oh boy, what a week it's been in Welsh rugby.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The never-ending psychodrama continues. Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? What a week. What a week. It's funny, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's not funny at all, really, but if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So on Monday night, it was leaked by Wales Online that Ospreys owners Y11 are the WRU's preferred bidders to buy Cardiff Rugby. We joked on the group chat how long it would take for the preferred bidder to be leaked, and it took 40 minutes. It took 40 minutes for that information to get leaked. And this was after the WRU said they would enter a period of exclusivity with the successful bidder. Then on Wednesday, the WRU chair, Richard Collier-Keywood, and Chief Executive Abby Tierney were called to Westminster to answer questions from the Welsh Affairs Select Committee. More on that a bit later. And then on Thursday, we had another twist in the tale. We had confirmation that Y11 was the bidder by the WRU. They confirmed it was Y11, successful bid. But they will not merge the two clubs. Cardiff will remain an independent side, and the Ospreys' future is only guaranteed until the end of the 2026/27 season. Reports say that the URC has given permission for Y11 to own two clubs during this period, despite the fact that it actually goes against World Rugby Regulation 14. It needs official approval now from EPCR and World Rugby, but apparently it's not expected to be an issue if the URC have already approved. So that's interesting, isn't it? And then later on Thursday evening, Swansea Council issued what has to be said a pretty damning statement, which told us a lot more about the Ospreys' future, has to be said. I think it was Councillor Rob Stewart who said that the WRU had indicated to them, the council, that there is no viable future for the Ospreys under their plan. And as a result, they will not put any more money into the redevelopment of St Helens and have urged the WRU to think again and change course. So it's pretty grim. Very worrying times for the Ospreys. Lance Bradley as well also put a statement. Oh, he's had some stick, isn't he, old Lance? Oh dear,
he's not covered himself in glory, has he?
He
Chance
hasn't.
Bradley, yeah.
Rat Bradley is said on Wikipedia as well.
Oh yeah, I've seen that, dear me.
He hasn't helped himself on social media though. You know, the beer selfies, pints in hand, glasses of wine in hand. You know, when James, our friend of the pod, James Rees from the Osprey Supporters podcast, asked him to confirm if this rumour was true about Osprey ceasing to exist, his reply was utter rubbish. That was his reply. So no, he hasn't helped himself, Lance. Although I do feel a little bit for him because on the one hand, I think he's caught between a rock and a hard place with the WRU and Y11. But then on the other hand, I don't think he's helped himself particularly. No. And I can understand why supporters are a bit naffed off of him. But yeah, he put out a statement saying the Ospreys will continue to play in URC and European competition until at least the end of the 2026/27 season. So to me, that sounds like a state of execution, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really. It doesn't sound great.
That's all it is, though, isn't it?
So, I rounded up the news there. Just another chaotic week in Welsh rugby. Madness. Who wants to start first on this?
I'll let you go, Gareth.
Oh, cheers. I mean, you know, I think we all feel for the Ospreys fans. It's the most dreaded news you can have as a club, and news we've been worried about over the last, few years, to be fair, because you know these rumours have been going around for a while, and I've certainly been worried for our future. And it's starting to come to a bit of a head. You know, they're a great club. Really don't want to see the Ospreys go. Feel for players, fans, staff. I just think and there is a lot of anger online, and completely understandably, but no way you're directing your anger. Yes, the WRU should be unhappy with them because they're the ones cutting the team, but also Y11, they're the ones to direct your anger about to, because they're the ones essentially shafting you. All right, Bradley hasn't covered himself in glory, but being angry at him, he holds no authority, really. And certainly do not be angry at us, the Dragons. We are not the reason the Ospreys are going, because there has been some sly comments at the Dragons, which I don't agree with. I know everyone's in a high emotional state, which is very understandable, but point your anger in the right direction. It's not our fault. And we certainly don't want to go. My brother will be donning a banner at the Ospreys game saying we stand with the Ospreys, and we'll certainly be standing with them. Rivalry on the pitch, but off it we'll be together next week. I think it's just very sad, to be honest.
Yeah, Mr. Loaf, as the Black Feather pod
Mr. Loaf
referred to him as Mr. Loaf. That was quite funny. Yeah, I think. Look, to be fair, there's only been a couple of snarky shots fired at the Dragons. It hasn't been many. So they're pretty much in the minority. And we should remember emotions are high at this point. And people are going to come up with stuff that they'll reflect on and perhaps won't necessarily mean. But we've always been in the firing line. Probably always will be. That's just the way it is. But yeah, it is in the minority, these comments fired at us. Gav, what did you make of it that week?
Oh, my issue, and always with all of it, and always has been, is you can argue what you want about how many regions there should be and where they should be and what they should be called and blah, blah, blah. But if you have a body that's responsible for organising things, they have to be competent. Because you can't expect any businesses to be competent if the framework in which they work is A, not fit for purpose, and B, run by idiots. And that's the problem. How can any club function? And I'm not just talking about Ospreys. How can we function? How can Cardiff function? How can Scarlets function? When nobody seems to know what's happening, the thinking isn't clear at all. None of us are really safe because we're at the whims of people who have no idea what they're doing. I do feel massively for Ospreys because they are the victims in all of this. And I could live with it a bit more if I could understand the thinking, but I can't. Oh, we can't afford four. Well, that's your problem, I'm going to suggest, WRU, so cut your cloth accordingly. Because you're not offering a fund anyone else any better. It's just madness.
Yeah. Wales Online described it as a bombshell decision. It wasn't really a bombshell, though, was it?
No, we all knew it was coming because whoever is leaking in both Y11 and the WRU is leaking an awful lot.
Yeah, exactly. Y11 as well have been linked to Cardiff for months.
Yeah,
And
longer than that. Longer.
It's been a long time they've been linked to Cardiff, and it's an open secret that Richard Collier-Keywood has been hell-bent on getting a deal done with Y11. He is the main architect in all this, actually, I've been told, Richard Collier-Keywood. It was also revealed this week that Richard Collier-Keywood threatened to quit if the Y11 deal was rejected by the WRU board.
That's a good look, isn't it?
Which absolutely stinks to high heaven, firstly.
Yeah.
And it also raises question marks around the fairness of the bidding process. They were never going to accept our Hollywood bid, were they? And apparently, we were told as well, the Hollywood bid, Martin Ryan and his pals, that was the strongest financial offer as well. That was the strongest bid. But it looks like they were never going to accept it. And Richard Collier-Keywood threatened to quit if the board rejected the Y11 bid. It absolutely stinks of corruption. And look, let's be clear here, right? The WRU are responsible for the mess we're in. The gross mismanagement and underfunding in the professional game. This goes back to the days of Roger Lewis.
Yep.
And it's continued ever since. And yes, there were some green shoots when Gav Davis was at the WRU, but when he tried to modernise the game in Wales, the club said no, and they kicked him out.
It's a bit like, right, imagine you've got a company and they open all these shops that sell burgers, and the burger places, they're waiting for the ingredients to turn up, and all they get is grapes and grass. And then it's like, well, why aren't you making burgers? Because you're not giving us the stuff to do it with. And that's what the WRU's like. Well, it's not being successful. No, because you're underfunding everyone, you morons.
Yeah.
Absolute. Just, it just drives, because I work in big organisations, and organisational thinking is something I think about an awful lot. It's like, honestly, I wouldn't then run a bath.
No, they've been an awful governing body for years and years, the WRU. But what I would say as well, Y11's role in all this can't be underplayed.
No,
because they have ultimately, let's be honest, what they've done, they have shafted the Ospreys. They've wanted out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They've shafted the Ospreys, and they've given WRU the easy way out to cut to 3 teams. And the way that Y11 have kept everyone in the dark at the Ospreys, the players, the staff, coaches, and the supporters, is an absolute disgrace. And what I would also say is, this has made me appreciate our ownership group even more. Because, look, our owners haven't got everything right. We know that. I don't think Dave Flanagan had enough support during his time with us. The recruitment of certain players and coaches has been very questionable, to say the least. We were promised a marquee player. We didn't get one. Okay, I understood the reasons why. David explained that on this pod. But nonetheless, when you promise your supporters something and you don't deliver it, it's not a good look. But what I do know is there's absolutely no way our owners but treat the players, staff, and supporters like with absolute contempt, like Y11 have done to the Ospreys. And I think our owners throughout this whole entire shit show have handled it very well. I have to give credit to our owners.
Yeah,
They have
agreed.
fought our cause very well. They care about the club. They care about supporters, the players and staff, not like what Y11 have done. So, I'm very thankful for the ownership group that we've got, because Y11 can't be trusted. And good luck, Cardiff fans, because if this all goes through, you're going to be owned by these guys. And they clearly can't be trusted.
Cardiff fans are outraged by it all as well, aren't they?
I don't blame them. If I was a Cardiff supporter, I'd be worried, because if they shaft the Ospreys, then who's to say they won't shaft Cardiff further down the line? They clearly can't be trusted.
No.
And there's rumours for years, like Y11 and Ealing and all these. There was always different rumours.
Scarlet, they were linked to Cardiff before. Well, no, Scarlet wasn't Y11 in fairness. That was before Y11, the Scarlet.
Do you think, be a bit harsh, but with hindsight, like Ospreys fans were a bit bury their head in the sand with some of those rumours and always claim they weren't true. And you think, Y11 should have been questioned a lot earlier before it come to this, and now sadly it is too late.
So one of the problems that I always had trouble with the Ospreys and Y11 in particular. Now, I've spoken to James Rees, friend of the pod, about this. He knows how I feel. I never liked the Y11's policy of we don't respond to rumours. For me, that was a red flag, because them saying we don't respond to rumours was a convenient smokescreen.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you never expected them to respond to every little rumour that's out there on the internet, do you? No organisation does that. But this was more than a rumour, wasn't it? The link to Cardiff, the interest in Cardiff. This was far more than a rumour. And Y11 was given a free pass after they said, we don't respond to rumours. They gave them a free pass not to comment, to respond to these rumours and being transparent with their supporters. Yeah. Instead of putting out a statement and being upfront with people, which is what most other organisations would have done, they allowed speculation to run rife. Supporters were constantly kept in the dark because they hid behind this. We don't respond to rumours.
Yeah.
And now it's a convenient smokescreen for them. And it's wrong. And I don't think our owners would have done that. I think our club, had we been linked, I think a statement would have been put out of some sort.
Yeah.
And the fact that Y11 hid behind this we don't respond to rumours smokescreen was a little bit convenient, and I didn't like it one bit. Did you see what Sam Cross wrote on X?
Yeah.
Former Osprey, Gwent boy from Brimell, Sam Cross.
He's from Brimell, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Gwent boy, former Newport player as well. He said,
Olympian.
That's right, yeah. Decent player, Sam Cross. So this is what he wrote on X about Y11. He said, as for Y11, the so-called global sports management experts, cowardly leadership from day one, nowhere to be seen when it matters. That's hit the nail on the head right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't they own the Cheetahs as well in South Africa?
Yeah.
Do they actually own them, or do they have shares in them? There's a link up with the Ospreys. I don't know if they actually own them outright, though.
Oh, they've got money in it, though, I think, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look that one up. But obviously, they have got that link up with the Cheetahs, and they've had some very good Cheetahs players.
Because you would be asking the question, wouldn't you, if that happens, Osprey cease to exist. There's a gap in the URC, and it's taken up by the Cheetahs.
That's already been a story today in Wales Online. The Cheetahs apparently have been making noises because they're keen on this situation.
They've been keen for ages. They wanted to join originally, didn't they? But they went with the big South African sides.
Yeah. But I just think it's been so poorly handled, the whole thing.
On top of all that, the WRU are going through this process with the Six Nations around the corner, and on the eve of the squad announcement, you're like, if you think we're a podcast that want to talk about Dragons rugby and we're massively distracted, is probably not the right word for us, but we have to talk about it. Imagine what it's like for the players when it's their livelihoods at stake. It's just, we can't get anything right in Wales at the minute, can we?
And they're shooting themselves in the foot, the WRU, because there's, reams of tickets not being sold for the internationals. Now, I remember when I was growing up, getting an international ticket, you had to have some deal with the devil. There's 20,000 tickets for the France game left.
It's insane, isn't it?
There's 30-odd thousand left for the Italy game. Like, honestly.
You make a good point there, Gav. I actually made a similar point on X a couple of weeks ago. Years ago, Six Nations tickets were like gold dust. You had to know somebody, well-connected people. You had to be a part of a rugby club. You need to know someone, because Six Nations tickets were very hard to get hold of. Now, there's thousands of tickets left, thousands for France, and normally that would be a sellout. But
Yeah.
there's so many tickets available now, and it's going to have a knock-on effect. I think people have had enough. They've had enough of the WRU. They've had enough of the Welsh rugby chaos and uncertainty. Wales ain't winning as well. That don't help. There's so many factors into it. But yeah, it's all very worrying. Now, did either of you get a chance to watch the Welsh Affairs Select Committee this
No, I
week?
did not.
Yeah,
Gareth, you did,
I
didn't you?
watched it. I had to pause it for a bit to do some work. I'm glad my boss doesn't listen to this pod. And then caught up with the rest of it. But yeah, I sat through it.
Right. So we were told MPs were going to give the WRU hierarchy a good grilling. What we actually got was a light toasting. It was very disappointing, I have to say. Very, very disappointing. They were put under nowhere near enough scrutiny as they should have been. It took MPs 1 hour to talk about the Ospreys. Max Boyce got a mention within 10 minutes. It took him 1 hour to come onto the subject of the Ospreys. Unbelievable. There wasn't much to come out of it, actually. There were some very interesting takeaways. Richard Collier Keyword, he works just 1 day a week at the WRU. One day a
So is
week.
his salary prorated, or does he get that much money for 1 day's work? Because if he does, call me up, WRU. I'd be open for some work.
How much is, I don't want to speculate because I don't know. How much is he on a year, do you think, Collier Keyword?
I saw a six-figure sum.
Yeah, and he works 1 day a week at the WRU. Nice work if you can get it. That's all I'm saying.
And it's one of those, if everything's perfect, you think, well, great, that's fine. But considering the mess we're in, you'd expect a bit more than that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so 1 day a week he works at the WRU, which that did take me by surprise. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, sorry, what? I had to wind it back to to make sure he's 1 day a week.
I assume his allotment is in really good condition, like, only working 1 day a week.
Like I said, it's out for some, isn't it? He said overseas signings are, and I quote, frankly, a waste of money.
Honestly, yeah.
That is worrying to hear.
If you need anything to tell you that the bloke doesn't understand Welsh rugby, there you are.
Or any rugby.
Yeah.
What team in Europe doesn't have good overseas signings that really help a lot of other players come along? You watch the European Cup on the weekend, all the top teams have got imports.
In any sport.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all a waste of money, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Arsenal, Man United today. It wasn't full of Manx and Londoners, was it?
No, but even like a sport like baseball, which is the most American sport in the world, some of the biggest players in the world are Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Japanese, Venezuelans. Honestly, how can they be allowed to talk about stuff they have absolutely no idea about? You might as well get me to talk about dressmaking on a podcast for all they know about rugby. Jesus.
It's a joke, isn't it? But you go back to when Welsh rugby, particularly the regions, were more successful and more competitive, when you had quality overseas signings. Regan King at the Scala. Justin Marshall, Jerry Collins, Philo Tiatia, Paul Tito, Savia Rush, Percy Montgomery, Brock Harris. There are so many more we could list. Ray Lilo, Casey Laulala, Willis Halaholo. They're all, frankly, a waste of money. I mean, and Chris Kerwin made this point as well. Next, look at Rob Hunt.
Oh, fantastic.
Are you seriously telling me Rob Hunt has been a waste of money for the Dragons? Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, not every overseas signing works out, and we know that more than most at the Dragons, right?
Some don't exist.
Exactly. We could talk about Harry Wilson, Funaki, Steve Cummins, Brandon Nansen. I could list a whole host of overseas
Oh,
signings at the
Brandon
Dragon.
Nansen,
Remember him?
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. We have signed some really poor overseas players. Don't get me wrong, but to say overseas signings are frankly a waste of money. So, are you saying to me like go tell the Ospreys that Ryan Smith has been a waste of money?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just
What about Fletcher Anderson to Scarlets? Has he been a waste of money? Look at Cardiff, Josh McNally. Is he a waste of money? Like, frankly, he has been superb for Cardiff.
But
Yeah.
look at some of the players who've driven us forward this season. Feeney and Nisi.
Yeah,
Robert Hunt. They've
waste of
been,
money, mate.
yeah, they've been essential to the side. But even, it's not like they're out and out for it. Ty Byrne at Scarlets. Simon Easterby at Scarlets.
Yeah. It's just, it's another chance.
John Barkley at Scarlet. Are they a waste of money as well?
Unbelievable, isn't it?
But he wasn't grilled on it, though. And that was the thing that you think they did get off very lightly because some of the answers were questionable, but they weren't pushed on them to get under the surface. You think if you put him in front of a panel of the people running the game in Wales, in front of Buttress, Di Wright, and, Scarlet's owners and stuff, and let them ask proper rugby questions and get into the details. Oh, I think you'd see him squirm then.
Bring him on you.
Yeah, that'd be a laugh.
Oh, you have a proper grilling then, I tell you that now.
That would be,
You would get a proper interrogation.
It's embarrassing, though. I was
on this pod.
part watching it thinking, right, this is obviously, all the stuff going on is really interesting. But there was a small part of me being deluded, thinking, hopefully I come out of here thinking, fair play, they do know what they're doing, and maybe they have got the best interest for Wales at heart, and they are the right people. But I just left thinking, what the flipping heck is going on? It was shocking. And the line of questioning was poor. A lot of it was around the community game. They were given a lot of easy outs. Yeah. And they still concluded that they were a pair of dickheads.
But there was a lot of questions on the community game. There was a lot. And there was a couple on North Wales. And look, I'm not saying that it's not important. Of course, community rugby is very important. But for me, that should have taken a bit of a back seat. And they should have focused more on the professional game and in particular what's happening with the Ospreys. And I can't believe it took them an hour to even mention the Ospreys.
The community game is falling apart anyway. We talked about it last week. Jess and Gwent, the number of clubs that have folded since we've been doing this pod.
Yeah.
There's a problem in the community game. Yeah, I'm getting caught up in North Wales. Oh my God, alive.
Well, they said that North Wales had been underfunded and underinvested, which, to be fair, it probably has. I don't know.
There's 14. There's 14 clubs in North Wales. There's 14 clubs. There's 12 in Newport. It's, honestly,
there was a lot of questions around the community game, and like I said, I'm not saying it's not important. It's not relevant. It is, but there should have been more scrutiny on the pro game, and the Ospreys should have come up far sooner than it did. I can't believe it took an hour. What else did he say, Colin? Oh, he said, Y11 still have a lot of local passion for Swansea. Yeah, it looks like, mate, doesn't it? Is that why they're getting into bed with Cardiff?
Yeah.
We got that much passion for Swansea. We're ditching the Ospreys and we're moving to Cardiff. That doesn't sound like local passion to me.
Just as Lance Bradley is looking through Rightmove for houses in Pontcanna.
Well, you might get the Cardiff CEO job.
Dear me. But he wasn't pushed on it, though, was he? Why wasn't he pushed on that? Why didn't they go, how the fuck is that possible?
I don't think he could have used that language, Gareth.
Well, maybe not. Funny enough, I've never been invited to speak there, but yeah, it's a
matter of time, isn't it? Matter of time.
Right, there's something that did come up, and this might be me reading too much into things, right? Because our Gareth has a tendency to read too much into things, doesn't he, Gareth, on our group chat? And he comes up with scenarios that doesn't even exist. And I'm thinking, how the fuck have you come to this conclusion? Dragons. Yeah, but you do have a tendency of overthinking things sometimes, Gareth. I was doing the same, though, during this meeting, because Collier Keywood said something, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since. And I don't know if it's just me reading too much into it.
Almost
and certainly. I want to know, Gareth, if you noticed this as well, right? When he talked about cutting the team, and then he talked about the investment that goes in afterwards. He said, the investment we make will connect the community clubs, very importantly, to the regional sides or the 3 new clubs.
Yeah.
Why is he saying new clubs? 3 new clubs. He didn't say the 3 remaining clubs or the
I
3
would.
existing clubs. Why has he said new? The 3 new clubs. Now, am I overthinking this? Am I reading too much
No.
into it, or is there something else going on here? Why did he say new?
Well, I think there's always been something going on, and I've said this a number of times on the pod, that I think there's going to be a realignment of branding. Whatever you want to call, like that. I imagine that there's going to have to be some thinking about what the sides are called.
But Cardiff have to be Cardiff now, and they've confirmed they're going to be that
Yeah.
in that WO statement. But that they can still be Cardiff Ospreys, couldn't they? Like
They
as long
could
as
be,
they're blue and black and got Cardiff in the name, there's nothing, if that's what they want.
but to be fair, that's the solution, because there's very wise people on the internet that claim that if you called a team in Cardiff, South Wales, suddenly all of Pontypridd would be on the X4 bus
Oh, of course they will.
on their way down to Cardiff to watch the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if the X4 does still run through Pontypridd, but uh, honestly, but I do think there'll be some argument about realignment of club names or whatever. But I wouldn't care if there's a team playing in Newport, great.
Funny enough, Gav, yeah, I've had that conversation with a few people, and I've sort of said, well, I don't care about the name. It's, if we're playing at Rodney Parade and we're playing in our colours. And then other people saying, yeah, but there's more to the club than that. You don't want us to be, say, our owners leave and we're purely run by the WRU and just given a branding.
No.
It still needs to be us.
Oh yeah,
I
100%.
still want it to be our ownership group. And, the name to me genuinely isn't important. I don't know that many fans that would be massively against it. Like, it doesn't,
Well, it doesn't really mean anything, does it? It's
No,
the most generic name you could possibly, it'd be like calling an English football team the Sockers. It's so painfully generic, but
Yeah.
it's Newport colours in Newport with other representation of Gwent colours. Like, that's the important bit of it all.
Yeah.
But when you said 3 new clubs, I was like, you what, mate? Like I said, this could be me just overthinking it,
No, I don't think
or
so.
looking too much into it. I don't know. But I thought it was very interesting that you
But
said
he
3
wasn't
new
pushed
clubs.
on it again. Why not?
No.
Why were people going, hang on a minute, and asking the question? It was just.
Mate, they're a bunch of MPs. I can't imagine they've got in their detailed knowledge of South Walian rugby.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. I don't think they had a
There
detailed
was
knowledge
there
of
was
rugby,
one
to be
gent
honest.
on the panel asking some pretty good questions. To be fair, his name escapes me now, I'm afraid. But yeah,
Because
not
Ruth
great.
Jones was chairing it, and she's the MP for Newport West, and she said that we didn't sign the agreement, and she had to be corrected. Aberdeen said no, Cardiff and Dragons signed the agreement. It was Ospreys and Scarlets that didn't sign. So I was thinking, Jesus, they clearly didn't know much about what was going on. Unfortunately, there
No.
was, and like I said, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but in my opinion, there was far too much questioning on the community game. And North Wales, and just not enough on the current situation we find ourselves in now, which is really important at the moment, because that is going to shape the future of all of Wales, and they got an easy ride. The old Anglo-Welsh League question that was brought up
Oh,
again.
Jesus.
Same old story, same old answers, really. Abitiuni said, look, we got a contract with the URC, we're committed to the URC, blah, blah, blah. Richard Colicky was said they're trying with Y11 Ospreys to create a different model, that model being Cardiff, let's be honest. It was just a farce. It was really disappointing, because I thought they would grill them properly and really interrogate them, especially with regards to the Ospreys and Y11, and ask questions about that. And they got off lightly.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, we're going to create we're looking to create a different model." Okay, well, tell us about it. What is that model?
Yeah,
and why is it different?
Nobody asked. Nobody asked.
It was just
nobody followed
all
it up.
surface nonsense, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was crap. Big shout out to friend of the pod and Dragon Supporters Club chairman Dan Hallett.
Yes, well done, Dan.
Well done, Dan. You spoke very well. As did Grant Burney from the Osprey Supporters Club.
Yeah.
He's a good bloke, Grant. I like Grant a lot. There's no better person than Grant to represent the Ospreys. And I really liked what he said at the end of that meeting. I don't know if you caught what he said at the end. He said, please don't manage our decline. It's our game. And I thought that was a very powerful message to end on. Yeah, they both spoke very well. To be fair, as did the other reps too. Lynn from CF10 and you one from Crease 16. They all did well. But I thought Grant and Dan in particular were very, very good.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Good bloke Grant and good bloke Dan as well. Well done, chaps. So yeah, I mean, I just feel for the players, the staff, and the supporters. You know, as I said before, I got a lot of good friends of mine who are Ospreys fans. Our thoughts go out to our fellow podcasters at the Erie, the Black Feather, and the Ospreys supporters podcast. It's a pretty shitty time for them, isn't it? You know, very worrying. But it's not over yet. You know, let's try and give a bit of hope. It's not signed and sealed just yet. People need to keep fighting.
I still think we could end up with 4 teams.
We possibly could.
I'm not basing that on anything other than the WRU are idiots. So, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked.
I still think there's more twists and turns to come because this is Welsh rugby. There's always twists and turns to come. Maybe the deal will fall through. You never know. Maybe Y11 do pull out at the last minute or something. Let's not forget the Scarlets Ospreys merger that fell through at the last minute back in 2019. Remember that? That was a done deal. We were told that fell through at the last minute. An EGM could possibly change things if there's a vote of no confidence in Richard Collier-Keywood. I'm personally not very hopeful about this EGM.
No,
they need
90
odd clubs, don't they, for it to go ahead. And they need like over 50% in 2 motions and over 75% in the other motion that they're putting forward. I don't know if there's enough appetite overall from the clubs to oust the WRU because there's been reports of some clubs not wanting to do so because they're scared that they might get their funding pulled or they might be, you know, WRU. How do I say it? Sort of declining their perks or taking away their perks. You know, some of these club reps and secretaries, you know, they're on the gravy train. Let's be honest, they are. Not all of them, but some of them are. So I think some clubs are a little bit hesitant to really go against the union. So, but you never know.
That's a massive issue in itself, isn't it? But
yeah.
You know, dear me.
They'll need to make sure it's on a day when Collier-Keywood's not done the allotment, though. Because, you know, it's...
Yeah, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, it's been a crazy week. Our thoughts are with all the Ospreys supporters.
Yes.
We will be there on Saturday. Loaf will be there with his flag. Yeah, solidarity to the Ospreys. It's a really rubbish situation. The only thing I would say, though, bringing it back to us for a minute, if this does go through, Y11 seem quite happy to run the commercial and let WRU run the business side of things, the rugby side of things. Now, that puts pressure on Scarlets and Dragons. We know the Dragons are very unhappy about this. We've seen the statements. We are very unhappy about the level of control that the WRU want. Apparently, Scarlets have taken legal action. I don't know if we're going down the same route. My concern is what happens if the WRU don't back down from this? Like, what happens if Y11 sign this deal and there's no resolution? Because something has to give, doesn't it? Like, if the WRU went backing down and the owners don't get what they want, which is control the rugby side, what happens then? Do our owners walk away and go, that's it, we've tried? It is concerning, isn't it? This is what makes me think, and I think you raised this point in the group chat as well, Gareth, like, what happens if the owners just go, oh, do you know what? I've had enough now. I don't think they will. I think they're far too committed. And there's a lot of investment gone in now. They're too deep to just walk away. I don't think they're going to do a Y11. But what happens if they don't back down the WRU? What happens if we don't get the control we want?
That's it. My concern isn't our owners, because I trust them and back them to the hill. But if it is essentially, if the WRU don't back down, are the WRU trying to force this situation where they make it stupid for us and the Scarlets to sign so that we don't sign, so that they are left with their original plan of 2 teams, Cardiff and Swansea?
I don't think Swansea's happening, mate. You know, I think rugby in Swansea, apart from Swansea RFC, is in its last knock-ins.
Yeah, I guess probably just paranoid with everything going on. But what happens if the WRU don't budge? And I get why we would want rugby control, obviously. But what piques me even more is that, okay, we get to run the commercial element, but if you make a profit, we want half of that profit. well, hang on a minute. You're not letting us do anything else, but we can run the commercial, but then we've got to give you half of our work back if we make profit. It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
And it's absolutely ridiculous that, Dragons have no control over the rugby side of it, but they're still expected to print millions to benefactors, though. So they're still expected to put all these millions of pounds into the business for less or hardly any control. But Y11, I don't know. They seem to be happy with that, don't they? And like I said, if this deal gets signed and sealed and done, it is going to put a lot of pressure on Scarlets and Dragons. And what happens if WRU don't back down? That's the question I got. What do our owners do then? What is the next course? Do they take legal action as well? Do they consider doing what the Scarlets have done? I don't know. It's going to get
And how's
messy.
there going to be a good working relationship going forward anyway?
Well, we've never had that, have we, with the regions and the WRU? They've never liked each other. They never trusted each other. It's always been this way.
This is the issue, though, isn't it? That I understand that commercial aspects and rugby aspects are separate parts of a business, but it's the same business, isn't it? And you can't have a disconnect between two bits of a business. It's like a petrol garage. Selling petrol and selling crisps are two separate things. but you couldn't have two separate people running them. Oh yeah, can I buy these crisps? No, you need to speak to Jeff. I only deal with petrol. But when you have paid for your crisps, can you come across and pay for your fuel? It's
another classic Gavin analogy, isn't it? It's another classic. Oh dear. Right. I think we should move on now because I think we've spent enough time. I think it was important to talk about this, though, because it will affect the Dragons. And like I said, I do offer our solidarity to the Ospreys.
Yeah, we stand with the Ospreys.
And we do have a lot of Ospreys, fans who listen to this pod. So I thought it was important that we covered that. So, uncertain times ahead, it's fair to say. Okay, let's move on to the Wales squad. That was announced as well in the midst of this shit show. Just 2 Dragons players called up. Extremely disappointing.
Disgusting.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations to Aaron Wainwright of Ben Carter. But yeah, I feel personally, I'm not just saying this for biased reasons, but I feel like we've been really hard done by on certain calls, especially the guys like Rio Dyer and Shea Hope. Although we'll talk about it later, Shea Hope did come off injured against Munster. They didn't look good. So we wait and see on that. But just 2 players. Don't get me wrong, I didn't expect 7 or 8 Dragons, but I certainly didn't expect just 2. I feel very hard done by, if I'm honest. How do you feel about it, Gavin?
Well, my issue with it is not selected on form.
No.
I like Gabriel Hamer-Webb. I think he's a good player. He's not getting in the Leicester side. He's not scoring tries. Rio is in great form, scoring tries. And I know Tandy was saying about his ability in the air. He's been a lot better in the air this season. He has been an aerial presence. So I'm not sure, where that selection comes from. The scrum half selection as well, that's not selected on form. The hooker selection, certainly not selected on form. And I don't know what Tommy Raffel needs to do. Or what, I don't know, maybe reversed his car over Tandy's cat or something. But, it baffles me. But then, it's Welsh rugby here, always baffles me.
But were you surprised at just 2 Dragons?
I thought we'd have 5.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be the 2 that got in. I thought it'd be Shea. I thought it'd be Rio. And I thought it'd be Brodie.
Yeah, I think those are perfectly reasonable calls. Gareth, just 2 Dragons. We're making strides this season. Scarlets are below us. They got 9 players. And, there are some very good players in that Scarlet squad, except for Tame Plumtree, obviously. But how do you feel about having just 2 Dragons in the squad? Because to me, it feels like a bit of a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, it just felt really flat. I mean, it was a welcome little distraction from everything else in Welsh rugby. And then I was like, what? It's just sort of had to double take at it. And yeah, I think some players have been consistent this season. Rio should be in. He's in great form. Plus, he's got international experience anyway. So it's not a risk. We know he can perform well at that level. And he's red hot. Get him in. I think people like Ryan Woodman must have been really close. I appreciate there is hot competition in the back row, but I think he's been consistently good now over a period of time, and is certainly one Wales should be getting in there. And yeah, at hooker, you could have had Brodie in there, who's been consistently good for a couple of years now. Burrows has had a really, really good season. There is maybe a part with him and Hope that maybe you probably do need to do it for longer than 6 months. And that's not a dig at them, because they've been fantastic. But keep this form up, boys. Keep performing. And, autumn, you should be in. Or on the summer tour, sorry. It's disappointed. Just felt like we deserve better. Great, obviously, the boys are in there. Undoubted that Wainwright would be in there. Fantastic. And Ben Carter is just, well, you've said enough before, Jamie, how underrated he is in Wales. He's a brilliant player. So glad he's in. But yeah, just a bit of a shame, innit? You just think, well, obviously I love Wales, support Wales, but you do want to see your players. You've got that extra connection. It gives you that bit more excitement. Yeah. You just think, oh, dear me. And we've only got 2. I just think, and at a time when people are pointing fingers in Wales, it's just not a great thing to read, is it? Dragons 2.
Just not our narrative, does it? No.
It's not. And I just think there's been times when that has been fair. And I'm like, this time, no, it's not fair. We should have had more in there. And we're not really ones to complain about that normally, but
no, we don't.
Yeah,
no.
We're hard done by. It's a shame.
Yeah, well, next time Steve Standy, Mr. Tandy, sits next to me at Ronnie Parade, I'll be having a word.
Did you offer him any of your Kit Kat? Maybe that was it. You need to be a bit more generous with him next time.
Well, no one gets my Kit Kat, mate. I don't share my Kit Kat with anyone.
As we know, Gareth, when it comes to getting refreshments, Jamie doesn't like to share. So
listen, you left without me. You decided to go AWOL. I was on my own.
Oh, dear me.
That's your fault, guys, not mine.
Oh, brilliant.
Interestingly, though, Steve Tandy, according to the BBC, he did actually call up Brodie Coughlin, Shea Hope, Ryan Woodman, and Angus O'Brien to tell him they missed out on the squad and that he was in their plans, and to say why they missed out. Angus O'Brien was actually called.
He deserves that call, to be fair. We were borderline. He's probably the wrong side of 30 now, but he's been playing well, so it's good that it's been acknowledged, to be fair.
Yeah. Having said all this, though, whilst I am disappointed to only have 2 Dragons players, there is another side of this. It might not be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously we have squad continuity. We keep our best players. We don't lose them to Wales. We got them during the international period. But also, think about that Wales camp. It's not going to be a good place with everything going on.
Oh, no.
It's going to be really low morale. I'm sure Tandy and the coaches will do their best to raise spirits. But with everything going on in Welsh rugby, the uncertainty, I think Wales personally going to have another really poor Six Nations campaign. I think the morale's going to be really low in camp. So I'm thinking maybe it'd be best for guys like Shea, Ryan, Brodie, and even Rio to just stay out of it for now. Because I don't think that's going to be a happy environment at all. That would be my other, if I'm playing devil's advocate, maybe it's not so bad at the moment. And looking at the Wales squad now, I'm looking at this now, and my thoughts haven't changed as it did on Tuesday. I've had time to reflect on it. I think it's a really uninspiring squad selection. I think it's very underwhelming. As you mentioned earlier, Gav, Gamer Haber Webb, that's just weird. But that does also absolutely reek of Matt Sherratt. That's a Sherratt call, that is, because he's worked with him at Cardiff. And like you said, he hasn't played a great deal for Leicester. Okay, he's been good in those Champions Cup games, granted, but that's only a couple. Rio has been good all season, so I think that's so strange.
He's a good player. He played the Judgment Day game. He was great then, but come on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But also, I'm pretty sure I read when he did leave Cardiff, one of the reasons why he wanted to leave to go to Leicester was for England ambitions. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, or that's what was being reported anyway. He wanted to give himself a chance of playing for England. So that just feels like a capture selection, to be honest, and it's very disappointing. And then looking at the other players in the squad, Liam Belcher continues to find his way into Wales squads. I thought they would have gone with Evan Lloyd, but he's in there again. It's good to see Thomas Francis in there. I will say that is a good selection. I know he's, getting on a bit now, but actually he's still a very strong tight end, and our options at tight end aren't great, it's fair to say. So he'll offer experience and, better scrummaging up front. So I think that's decent. Tame Plumtree is a walking penalty machine. Can't stand the guy. Got yellow carded as well for the Scarlets against Ulster. What a shock!
I
He's a
thought of you when
walking,
I seen that.
talking yellow card. Honestly, I can't stand the guy. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, but as a player, I cannot stand him. Total liability. Jared Evans is in there. Mason Grady, yeah, fair enough. Ruben Morgan-Williams, I do like him, but I felt Shea should have been called up, really. I am pleased for Ellis Mee, though. He's really good. And that
I
finish
like him.
right at the end, I think, come at a nice time for him with the Wales call-up. There's something
He was
about
their
him. I
best
really
player
like
against
him.
us, to be
He
fair.
was. I love
Very
Ellis
good
Mee.
in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's
Yeah.
huge. He's lanky. But
He's like Liam Williams, he is. He's tall and lanky. He's not muscular. He's not built. But
he's
he's got
very
like
tall.
this wiry frame, isn't he? He's really, really good.
He's quick as well, but deceptively quick. He doesn't look like he'd be as quick as he actually is.
He's got to be like 6'3", 6'4", isn't he?
He's 6'4", isn't he?
Is he 6'4"? Yeah, he's a big old boy like this.
He was a Nottingham, isn't he? Because he's English, but he's got Welsh mum, is he?
I'm not sure. But
Yeah,
what a
from
signing.
our way. I'm sure it's around our way. I'm going to have a little look now.
Yeah, what a signing he's been over the Scots. From Nottingham as well.
Yeah.
English Championship player. Brilliant signing for them. Fair play. I don't know where you two stand on Owen Watkin, but I like him. I think he gets a lot of flack, and I know some people don't rate him, but I quite like Owen Watkin.
He's a dependable player for me. He's a consistently 6.5 out of 10 player. And, occasionally sneaks up to 7.5, but he's never lower than that 6.5. And you want those players sometimes, don't you?
But he's like Adam Beard. He's just one of those players that gets constantly derided. And I like Watkin. I think he's a tidy player. He's a solid player.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Just on me, sorry.
On.
He's his mum's from Newport.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Get down here, boy. Come move back in with your mother. What are you doing?
I didn't know his mum was from Newport.
We'll
That's
have
good.
him.
I would. I'd love Ellis Mee. Bloody hell. Good player. Yeah,
Well,
you look at the notable omissions. Morgan Morse, that was a surprise.
I don't know who he's upset as well.
Yeah,
Maybe him and Tommy Raffel took turns running over Tandy's cat.
unbelievably talented. Morgan Morse, really good player. I'm just looking at these notable omissions. Callum Sheedy, meh. Tommy Raffel, yeah, I don't know what he's done
I'd
to
have
Tandy.
Raffel starting for Wales.
Tandy,
As would
it's
I.
something that Tandy don't like him. I don't know what it is. It's all a bit strange that way.
Yeah,
I can't see it.
No Nick
Sevens who actually
Tompkins.
get the ball. Yeah, I can understand why you wouldn't want that when you could have your man from Scarlets instead at 7, McLeod. Oh,
No Nick Tompkins, who actually had a very good game against Newcastle yesterday. In fairness.
Newcastle was shocking.
They had 73 points put on them.
I watched that game with my boy and my son. At one
Did you
point
see
said,
Tom Christie when he went over the try line, and instead of just putting it down straight away, he got put out into touch? Do you see
Yes.
that? Literally,
Oh, no.
get the ball, put the bloody ball down. He's such a good player. That was a massive cock up. But yeah, they got absolutely walloped poor Newcastle. I still think they'll be a quality team in 3 years, though. They really will.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Tompkins. No Rhys Davis. I like Rhys Davis. That's a big omission. Jacob Beetham, talented player. James Fender, who's now going to Grenoble. Best of luck to him. Danny Southworth, I thought he would have been called up because he's been decent for Cardiff. This one, I really don't understand. I think he's just exactly the kind of player we need right now. No Moriarty. Wales need dog. They need physicality. That's what Moriarty gives you. Why isn't he in the squad? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, all these players have missed out on Six Nations selection. And then you got guys like Jack Morgan, Tlupe Faletau, obviously, and Max Llewellyn are injured. So yeah, final thoughts on the Wales squad then for me, underwhelmed and inspiring. Pretty meh,
Yeah.
I would say. Gareth, final words on the Wales squad?
Yeah, I echo what you say, really. Just, a bit flat about it, but hope our two boys go well.
Gavin?
Well, I'm going to Twickenham in 2 weeks, and I reckon I'm going to be watching 80% of that game through my eyes.
That's going to be
From
painful.
my fingers.
Oh,
That is going to be absolutely. I don't
brave.
envy you. There was a time I actually like Twickenham. I've been to Twickenham several times. I really like the area. So it's a nice area, and I quite like the stadium as well. I love that, you walk down the street and people have got barbecues in their front
Yeah.
gardens. I love all that. They're selling cans of lager, and I like Twickenham a lot, but I don't envy you. I won't go to Twickenham with the stinking form the Wales are in, this low
Free tip.
quality Wales squad.
Free tickets. That's the only
Oh,
reason
fair
I'm
enough
going.
then. Fair enough then. Yeah, why not? Yeah, so that's the Wales squad. Then we're pretty unenthusiastic about it, aren't we? So yeah, good luck Wales though, obviously. In other news then, just before we move on, Dragons have had the date confirmed now for their last 16 Challenge Cup clash against Stade Francais. So the game is going to be played on Sunday, April the 5th. Kickoff 1:30 p.m. local time. Dragons say that they are in discussions with Stade Francais over full ticketing arrangements and will communicate to supporters as soon as they have further information. That's a nice trip, isn't it? I wish I could go to that. Lovely stuff. Right, okay. Let's look back at what happened on Friday night. Oh, it was so close to being a famous victory pod, wasn't it? It was so close. Munster 22, Dragons 20. Dragons come away with a well-deserved bonus point in awful conditions in Cork. After an excellent first half, Dragons were 13-7 up at half-time, and they were leading 27 with just 28 minutes remaining. But unfortunately, Dragons struggled to wrestle back the momentum in the last 20 minutes, and Munster squeaked home by just 2 points. I was really proud of the players and the fight that we shown, but I can't help thinking this is a missed opportunity. And I don't know if we'll ever get another chance like this to beat Munster away. It was so excruciating. Who wants to go first on this one?
Go on, Gav.
Oh, do you know what? And I'm not comparing under 12s rugby and in that, but I said to my lads today, play downhill in the first half or uphill in the first half, because if they haven't got a big enough score, we'll be able to come back. And it was a bit like we didn't score enough in that first half when we had the weather in our favour. And if Shea's try hadn't been disallowed and there's all those bits, we just didn't take enough of the opportunities we had in the first half. And then in the second half, when we had the wind on us and they brought Gavin Coombs on, it wasn't a big enough buffer. But I'm really proud of it, proud of the performance.
Yeah.
Because, we looked like we could, we didn't look embarrassing out there. We were competing in every aspect of the game. Scrummage looked great. Line out, it was a lottery, but we did all right. And now, if you said to me, what's our attacking shape, I could tell you.
We have an identity now, don't we? We actually have an identity.
We look for early width. We look to turn them with the ball through kicking, and you can see that. And we caused them problems. We caused them problems all over the field. It was a gutsy performance. And none of us thought we would come away where at the end of the game with bonus points. You and I said we felt bonus was available, Gareth, but I don't think I'd have been disappointed about the bonus point, but it was a little bit because it could have been better. Could have been better.
Yeah. Gareth?
I think what you said there about being disappointed, that was my initial reaction. And then you sort of reflect back and think, wow, disappointed by losing just away in Munster. That's a big step forward for us, especially on our away form. And, we look like a team that are playing for each other and are playing for the coaches. And Philo said it a lot in the press about our away form. He said it needs to be addressed. He says, we'll work on and all that. Well, it was a much, much improved performance on the road. That was very much like the form we've been showing at home. Well done, boys. I think they really, really fronted up. Some of our defending was brilliant. We really sort of dogged it out. And we're in the game for the entirety of it. And you think, there's how many away games have we watched? And it's been over after 30 minutes. And I
bonus point after like 30 minutes.
Do you know what I mean? It's when the wife says, what we're doing Friday night, and I say, well, sitting on the sofa, I'm watching or we're watching the Dragon. She's not too interested. It's justifiable when it's a good game, but sometimes you're like, so what's the score? And I'm like, well, we're losing by 40 points. Why are you watching it? It was good. That's what I want to see from our team on the road, a gutsy performance. And I said it about our home games earlier in the season that if we're in the fight in the fight for enough games like that, we will get one over the line. And
Yeah.
we've done it at home. And you think if we perform like that consistently now, we will pick up a win somewhere on the road. You know, it's a hard league. Munster's a tough place to go. They've gone third in the league. But yeah, I thought we played well. Funny enough, after bigging up Shea Goat for weeks, I thought he was a bit off the boil. He's got
He was okay, wasn't he? He wasn't as usual.
I think he set a really high standard for how he's performing. He wasn't quite at his high standards.
He just lacked a bit of zip for me.
Yeah, a touch indecisive at times. I thought
that's the word I'd use. Sorry to interrupt. Indecisive was the word I was going to use. Yeah,
and he's sort of got that style, isn't he, where you can hold the ball, but it just didn't quite click as well as it can. But still had a tidy enough game, and
he was decent. Yeah,
great pace and great control to finish that try that got chalked off. Which
the try that never was. It's like George Roberts, isn't it? One of the greatest tries.
Yeah,
that never was.
Really frustrated by that. I thought the general we've obviously bigged him up recently, but about how he hit someone as a lie down. But I thought coming off the bench last week and this week, I thought he looked a bit more mobile. He looks.
Well, he started this week. You think off the bench?
Last week off the bench he looked mobile, and then this week starting, I thought he's looking quite fit and it's looking good. He got around the park well. Carter, I thought again.
Oh, so good!
Hugely impressive, fantastic. And thought Martinez,
very good.
Very good. He's a little bit inconsistent, but this week he was banging people in defence.
He was
absolutely banging people. The same form he showed when we beat the Scarlets home. You think that's the Martinez I want to see. Hunt is just fantastic.
He got lucky, Martinez, as well. The fact that Holly Davidson was paying absolutely no attention to his bind.
Oh, right, okay.
Which was illegal in nearly about 75% of the scrums.
Yeah, you did mention about Martinez, but to be fair, he had a very good game in the loose. Martinez,
he did. Yeah,
carrying. He was really. This was one of his best games I think I've seen him play for us.
Very aggressive.
And the scrummage, it was what he was doing was any good proper doing. So he was starting with the long bind, and then he was just sliding his arm up, getting in the armpit, and bringing the tight edge shoulder in.
Yeah,
good stuff. That's what we want. It worked, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Well, to be fair, it did, yeah. So one of the biggest talking points from this game, it's been talked about a lot by supporters in particular, is the referee. There's a lot of people saying that we got shafted by the refereeing out there. There were certain decisions that didn't go our way. So I happen to agree with him. And I know Philo, in his post-match interview, I don't know if either of you two saw what he said. He said he didn't agree with some of the decisions out there, which is interesting. So that's not something that Philo normally does. He's normally very passive on this sort of thing, but he did criticise the refereeing. I did see a very interesting comment on social media from a Munster fan, which I picked out because there was a mixed reaction amongst Munster fans. Some of them were moaning about, how terrible they were and just didn't give us any credit at all. But a few Munster fans as well did praise us and said that, we're going to be a decent team and said we did really well. But this is a comment from a Munster fan by the name of Cormac Gaffrey. This is what he wrote on X, and it's a really interesting comment, this. He said, as a Munster man, I think we got a few hometown calls tonight. Dragons are a solid side. Probably should have won tonight and also should have beaten Leinster. That's from a Munster supporter, right? He was admitted that they had hometown calls. Gavin, I'm coming to you. You're a referee. I know you're going to be diplomatic about this, but be honest. Was we shafted out in Munster by the referee? How do you think Holly Davidson and also the TMO, his name is Mike Adamson, wasn't it? The Scottish TMO. Be honest, do you think we were very unlucky with some of those calls? Did we get shafted?
Right. The disallowed Trey Hope try, less so, because letter of the law, knee touched the ground.
It was so marginal though, wasn't it? I can understand what you're saying.
It was super marginal.
Yeah.
So if that'd gone either way, you could argue, that's fair enough. my issue with like there's no reason to disallow the try issue. Well, if you haven't seen the ball grounded, that's reason to
Oh,
disallow the try. So
Yeah.
if there's no clear, but she obviously thought she'd seen it grounded on the floor, and you do make those calls sometimes, because I did it a couple of weeks ago. I made a call that, you know, they don't have TMOs in under 18s rugby in Sussex, but fortunately, because I think my decision would have been overturned. Uh, yeah, I don't think we were shafted. I just think the interpretation of the laws didn't do us a favour.
Okay. Gareth, hometown calls were the Dragon shafted?
shafted. No.
I knew he'd have at it.
Do you know what? Like that rip, I think it was Bedell, was it?
It was Bedell, yeah.
Who, by the way, I just love Harry Bedell. It's just the way he
20 years of
plays.
age. 20 years of age, like, yeah, mental.
Just give him
Yellow
anything
card
he
aside
wants.
for taking the man out in the air, because that was a little bit
That was
daft,
a
and
bit clumsy, wasn't it?
that was inexperience showing. But other than
It was
that,
the wind
it
as
was
well.
so good.
It was exactly the same reason that Tina's kick looked like the greatest bit of play ever in the history of rugby.
Oh, that
Which
was
it
one of the
was.
greatest
Which it was.
try ever scored by the Dragons. It was so good. How good was Dave Richards' finish as well, in
Yeah,
fairness?
class.
It was the wind that held her up. Same with...
No, it wasn't. It was Tina's superb bit of skill, Gav.
All right.
Tina's just
all right, Gareth.
mind controlled the ball, didn't he?
Something like Gareth now, would I?
Yeah.
We were brilliant, outstanding. Sorry, go on, Gav.
We were. It was the greatest try ever. But yeah, that rip. I think if the ref calls it there and then, you're like, oh, that was close, and you're like, oh, fair enough. But I know it's not how rugby works, but I feel like going back for that just feels wrong. And I know that's easy to say as a Dragons fan, but I just feel like in sport in general, you think if it's that marginal, like if you call it there, fair enough, but going back for it. But yeah, the try that Munster had where she couldn't see the grounding, it was just like, well, how can you?
The problem is,
how can you give that?
The problem is when referees say my on-field decision is a try.
Yeah,
it's very difficult to overturn. I know what you're going to say, Gav. I know that, but if you can't see it, fine, you can't give it. But when the referee says my on-field decision is try, you've got to have real, solid, convincing evidence that
that's what I was annoyed from the moment that the ref had said that. So I thought, well, why have you said that when you said you couldn't see the ball grounded? Why have you given it as a try? Surely you should be looking for evidence to make you give a try. So yeah, we were shafted. Look, we couldn't predict what would happen in the game if we had that try or whatever, or Munster could have scored anyway. Things happen. We played well, but frustrating, and that would have been a lovely try as well from that rip.
The thing with the TMO, friend of the pod, Rhiannon Garth Jones, always refers to it as snitch cam, and there was a definite. There was a definite sense of snitch cam for that try. It's like, come on, Mike.
I know. Cheers, Mike.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say, what did annoy me about Ollie Davidson, look, I think Ollie Davidson is a good ref. I don't think she's quite as brilliant as people make her out to be.
No, but she's one of the better ones in the URC.
She is one of the better ones. But what did annoy me was the lineouts. So Munster were getting away with some blatantly crooked lineouts. Some of them were clear. There was one that was blatantly wasn't straight, and even the Irish commentator said so on commentary, saying, "Oh, surely that's not straight. Play on." Ollie Bowers comes on, first lineout, not straight, blew up. And I'm thinking, now come on, Holly, you've turned a blind eye now to multiple Munster lineouts that clearly weren't straight, and that did annoy me. I will say that. That did annoy me, the fact that we get penalised straight away, but Munster were doing it all game and they didn't get penalised. So I get why people are really annoyed, though. I mean, Paul Turner wasn't happy, was he? Friend of the pod and Dragons consultant. He thinks there's a bit of a corruption getting calls away in Ireland.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't think there's corruption. Being a referee, you sometimes make poor choices. Sometimes it upsets coaches. It's...
Yeah. I do think we were hard done by, though. I do.
Yeah, well, no, I agree we were hard done by. I think shafted implies something else.
Oh, it certainly does. Yeah, there is.
But how good to come
much
away
stuff.
from Munster thinking we were shafted out of a win? I know that doesn't quite make sense, but do you know what I mean? Rather than being blown away, that's a stark change from where we have been.
It is.
I hope
No,
the players
absolutely.
hopefully take a lot from that.
Yeah. So if you look at the stats, then Munster had the most possession territory. They had 67% possession and 71% territory. I think those stats were skewed on Munster's second half performance because the last 20 minutes we couldn't get the ball off them. They threw the kitchen sink at us, didn't they? Very, very difficult. So
Yeah.
we had to soak up a lot of pressure, as was expected. I thought our defense was excellent, and the stats back that up as well. We made 229 tackles, and we missed just 8. That's pretty good. We had a tackle success rate of 94%.
Our 5 meter defence was absolutely phenomenal.
Our goal line
Yeah,
defence
yeah.
was right at the end. So when Munster kicked that 50-22, I can't remember who it was. And to be fair, it was an excellent 50-22.
Oh, it was
And you're
brilliant.
thinking, oh, these bastards are going to score. They're going to take the bonus point away from us.
Yeah.
We're going to leave with nothing. And our goal line defence was outstanding in those final 2 minutes, wasn't it? Really, really good.
Tigerish is how I would describe it.
Yes.
You know, just every inch they forced Munster to fight for every single inch of territory they took.
Yeah.
It was.
Coach done a good job, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, we've criticised the coaches when it's been fair to, but now I
Yeah.
think we have to say, like, you know, the attack looks better, the defence
It does.
looks good.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting there slowly.
Yeah, I agree. But it would have been absolutely criminal if Munster had scored and denied us a
Oh yeah,
losing
I
bonus
was
point
shitting
because
myself, not going to lie.
I was as well. I was. Yeah, Munster by comparison, they missed 19 tackles and had a tackle success rate of just 74%. So yeah, poor defensive effort from them. Set piece, scrum win percentage was 100% for both teams. Munster had 100% line-out success, but they had dodgy throws, and we had 91%. In terms of the players, Harry Bedell was our top tackler and was the overall game's top tackler. 28 tackles he made.
Of course, 28.
He made 28 tackles.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
Oh,
What a
I
work
love
rate.
him.
What a work rate that boy has got.
And he's so young as well. And do you know what? He's only going to get better. That's
Oh,
the most
yeah.
exciting thing.
You know, let's be honest. 3 years' time, Welsh back row, Woodman, Bedell, someone else.
I know people talk about the size, but I still think he's growing and developing, and he's going to be outstanding. Well, he's good now, but imagine how good he'll be in 3-4 years' time. I think he's
The Munster
very
lad, what's he called? Doma, who was making his debut, the Irish under-20 player, built like 2 brick walls piled together. Bedell brought him down 3 or 4 times.
He's tough as well, Bedell. He punches well above his weight and size.
Yeah.
Telling you, he won't roll over for anyone.
He's powerful, isn't he? He's just, there's so much to love about him. He went off injured though, didn't he?
Did he go off injured?
Right.
No, no. It wasn't.
I thought it was just
no, was it not?
I thought it was just a replacement. I didn't think he got injured.
Oh, I thought
you saw something recent.
I thought he looked like he sort of hobbled off, but he might have just been a bit battered, to be fair, especially making 28 tackles.
Well, Levi, bloody hell, he was battered and bruised. He had to catch his breath a number of times. He was down on the floor, Levi. Like I said to you, I think Seb needs to come on soon because Levi looks like he's in the wars a bit. Yeah, and he took some big hits, man. He was having 2-3 people.
He did cop a couple, didn't he?
They were putting 2 men on. Did you notice that every time he had the ball? They were putting 2 men on him every time. So
that's why the attack starts to look better, doesn't it? We're having players who can actually suck players onto them now because of this size.
Yeah, he made some really big carries, Levi. And then in terms of defence, then Rodrigo Martinez and Ben Carter, they both made 24 tackles. Big shift.
Luke said Prop making 24 tackles, like fair play.
Yeah, absolutely. Reno and Tinas were the only players in the game to make line breaks. They only had 1 apiece, but yeah, it was that kind of night, wasn't it? Alan Wainwright and Rob Hunt carried the most for the Dragons. Wayno beat in 5 defenders. And then just some notes I made on the game. Awful conditions in Cork. Yeah. Have you ever seen an all-weather pitch look so wet? Because honestly, this is supposed to be an all-weather pitch. It looked awfully.
It can't drain. The problem is they can't drain. No.
But I've never seen an all-weather pitch look so wet. It was madness. I'm going to sound like a broken record here. I know, and I do apologise because you're thinking, oh, here he goes again. Ben Carter won't start the Six Nations because Tandy's going to pick David Jenkins and Adam Beard. But on current form, he really should be starting for Wales. Excellent again. I know I say it almost every week now when you touched upon it there, Gav, but he was just outstanding yet again, wasn't he? I telling him he's having his best season so far.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Really leading from the front, isn't he?
Yeah, superb. Absolutely superb. On form, he should be starting for Wales. I know he won't, but on form, he really should be. We mentioned him earlier, Harry Bedell. Yeah, excellent. What a signing. Really glad we brought him back to us. So talented. Really high ceiling as well. If Gavin Coombs wasn't playing this game for Munster, the Dragons would have won.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my take on it.
No,
Because he made a massive impact off the bench.
And he's a bloody good player.
Well, he divides opinion in Ireland, doesn't he? Like some people don't rate him, and some people question why he doesn't get more Irish caps. But he changed the game.
I know why he doesn't, because he's from the wrong side of Ireland. But there you go.
I don't know. I don't know. But he's a very good player, and he changed the game. I'm telling you, if he wasn't playing for Munster, we would have won that game. He gave Munster all the go forward and all the momentum. He was very, very good. And isn't it weird? You know, we're saying it's a missed opportunity, and we're saying Dragons should have won out in Munster, of all places. That's a sign of the progress we're making, isn't it? Right there to say that. And look, don't get me wrong. This group still has plenty to work on, particularly around the momentum shifts. And this is something that Philo has spoken about a lot. We need to be better at wrestling back momentum when it goes against us. But what's happening now is something I've noticed. We're staying in the fight a lot more. So in the past, when we lost momentum and the team gets on top, we would crumble and we just fall apart. We lose our heads. That's not happening now. We're staying in the fight a lot more. But we still got to be better at wrestling back momentum when it gets away from us. Because there's going to be periods in games where we're really under the cosh, where teams are going to be applying pressure. And we have to be better at trying to wrestle back that momentum. And that, like I said, that's something that Philo has spoken about a lot. And that's something I thought about after the game. Because that last 20 minutes, it was literally one-way traffic. Munster threw the kitchen sink at us, and it was very, very difficult to stop them. But we stayed in the fight, and our defence, like I said, our goal line defence was outstanding.
It's nice now. If you're the owners, sorry, Jimmy, it's not another rebuild. We need to rip it all up, but it's add quality. If we invest in this team now and add more quality, there's a base there now of a solid size.
Oh, 100%. And there's a lot of character and potential in this team. Like I said, there's still plenty of work-ons.
Yeah.
There's a hell of a lot of work-ons, actually, but it's small steps. But we are heading in the right direction, and it's positive. Yeah. It's positive. Did you see the comments of the Munster skipper, Diarmaid Barron? Do you hear what he had to say? He said about us, he said, that's a good Dragon side. He said, I wouldn't be underestimating what they're going to do this season. They're going to take a lot of scalps. That's earning respect. You front up in difficult conditions against really quality opposition, you earn respect. And this is something I've been banging on about. I've always wanted Dragons to earn respect.
Yeah, change the narrative.
Change the narrative, earn the respect of other teams. And I think we're getting there. We're not quite there yet, but we are getting there. However,
we need to do it more consistently, don't we? We need to keep at this, but
absolutely. And we need to get this monkey off our back with the away form. We got to win an away game this season. We've come so close against Cardiff and Munster now, and I feel like we're getting closer. It's just a matter of time. But this is another step now, isn't it? Like, we wanted to make Ronnie Parade a tough place to go. That's achieved. We've done that this season. Now, attention turns to the away form. That box needs to be ticked. So we got to get a win on the road. Simple as that. But like I said, a lot of work still to be done. Small steps, but we're getting there. We have improved. I don't care what anyone says. We have improved. Any reasonable, intelligent rugby supporter will look at us and say the Dragons have improved. We've only won 2 games in the URC, but the performances are a hell of a lot better than recent years. That's undeniable.
And without getting too Gareth about it, I genuinely think another 4 players to that squad, 5 players added to the squad, and losing some of the perhaps lighter weight players, and you genuinely have a really competitive squad then.
It needs quality additions. I'd still think a quality coach as well
Yeah,
to
agreed.
come into the setup.
Yeah.
Another quality experienced coach.
Just another voice.
Another strong recruitment drive. I think this team could be very competitive. Let's just say.
No, another centre, another winger.
Yeah, but then you got all this stuff going on with the WRU, as you mentioned earlier. So God knows that's going to affect recruitment. But yeah, this was a step in the right direction. Gutted, but like I said, I never expected to feel like this after Munster. I thought it was going to be game over after half time. I thought there was going to be total domination. We get blown away. Didn't happen. This is why you need to pick your best players as well when you go away from home.
Yeah.
This game proved that, because if they made sweeping changes like Philo has done, if you got the old Tom Bowler out, that game never would have been close. I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
As we saw in Benetton.
You've got to pick your best players. I know you got to rotate the squad every now and again. Nobody's saying you can't do that, but you got to go for it away from home.
That's why we need to add more quality, don't we?
100%. Yeah. Anything else on that game on Friday night?
No. Well done, boys.
Yeah. Gavin, any other thoughts?
No. I think we've said it all.
Yeah. Okay. Just a reminder, you can find us on YouTube. If you are watching this on YouTube, by the way, can you like the video? And also press the hype button, because it helps with the algorithm or some shit. So that does help us a lot if you do that. So yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube, like it. Subscribe on your podcast apps. Leave us a review. 5 stars on Apple or Spotify will get you a shout out. We've had one new review, chaps, from Wurzel82. This is on Apple Podcasts. He says, I love hearing a group of local guys chatting about their local team. It's informative and easy listening. I don't think some episodes have been easy listening by discussing this team. Sometimes feeling like you could be in a pub with them. I also like hearing the local rugby roundup, Gav, from the different leagues. And I like hearing about teams I recognise from playing for and against. Thanks, guys. See you soon at Fortress Rodney Parade. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much, Wurzel.
Nice. That's lovely.
It is, yeah. Like I said, if you want a shout out like Wurzel, then leave us a kind review, and yeah, you'll get a shout out. Thanks to everyone who continues to listen to us. It really is appreciated. Gwent Rugby Roundup now, then, Gav. Wurzel's favourite segment. What's been happening?
Well, a good mixture of league and cup rugby this weekend. If we start in the leagues, Eberville, their first loss in a while, 37-19 away to Cardiff in the SRC. But yeah, and to be fair, Cardiff were much the better side, so it's one of those things. Into the Prem, Llangennech 19, Crosskeys 28, and Newbridge 12, Beddau 17. Championship, just the 2 games, Ablairi Blaenau Gwent 13, Annisd 3, and Penaltha 20, St Joseph's 14. Abergavenny versus Blackwood was postponed. Bedlinog 38, Monmouth 10. Division 2, Abercorn and Pill and Rumney and Ask were both postponed. And in a feast of running rugby, Pontypool United 3, Croeso Ceiliog 5. So I bet the conditions weren't very pleasant then. Division 3, Chepstow 27, RTB Ebervale 10, and Risca 12, Killeen 19. Nantiglow versus Fleur-de-Lis was postponed. Division 4, Crickhowell 12, Derry 24, Whitehead 21, Llanillas 12. And I saw video of that Whitehead game, and the conditions looked bloody awful there as well. All other games in that league were postponed. Abersychan 3, Holybush 12. Again, all the other games postponed. And Division 6, Ulterior 10, Mago 0. And all other games postponed there, including Friends of the Pod, Nutridiga. Into the Cups, Division 1 Cup, Blaenau 25, Pwllheli 22. Division 2, Caldicot 8, Watstown 20. The Division 3 Cup game between Regos and Garndyffe was postponed. Oh, imagine playing up on the Regos in the weather we've been having recently. Oh, God.
No, thanks.
Your fullback would die of hypothermia. Yeah. I used to hate going there when I was a kid. Oh, God, it's bringing back flashbacks. In Division 5 Cup, both games postponed, Bargoed Athletic versus Bridgend Athletic 2 and Blackwood Stars versus Tondy Athletic. Into the Dragons League, Mark and Quarrymen 5, Blackwood Griffins 29, Pill Development 5, Newport High School Old Boys Expendables 47, and the NSD Rats 38, Bedwas Athletic 10. And just the one women's result, but another good one for Gwalior Lightning, who won 43 points to 7 away to Edinburgh. And Abercynon versus Ebervale in the East Wales Women's League was postponed. And then if we go to some news from our friends in the Official Supporters Club.
Yep.
So on the road again, with our third sold-out bus trip of the season to Bridgend. But Scarlett's coach and ticket packages are out on all our social media platforms. Don't delay. Book today. Also, good luck to the All-Stars who face Stafford next Saturday afternoon at Ebervale, weather dependent. It will be a mad dash for our very own Christian Hyde next Saturday to make the supporters bus. Good luck to all involved. Also, the Dragon under-18s beat RGC under-18s 43-5 in Ystrad Mynach.
Yeah, great result.
Yeah.
Well done to the under-18s. Newport and Pontypool did play on the weekend as well, Gav.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I got the
did.
scores here. It's fine, don't worry. I was thinking, have I lost my mind or you didn't mention them? Pontypool beat RGC 21-10 and Newport beat Carmarthen away 40-12. Just in case anyone's wondering.
It wasn't on All Wales Sports. Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay. It's absolutely fine. I don't know why it wasn't on there.
Old man befuddled by the internet once again.
Strange. I should be on it. Never mind. It's just letting you know that Newport and Pontypool won their games yesterday.
Apologies to both Pontypool and Newport.
No worries. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's everything.
Excellent. Okay, so let's turn our attention to our next game. On Saturday night, Dragons make the short trip to Bridgend to face the Ospreys at the Electric Brewery Field. Electric Brewery Field. So our record away, well, let's be honest, our record away in general is pretty dire, isn't it? But at Ospreys, it's pretty poor. However, our last away win against the Ospreys was back in 2021. And where was it played?
At the Electric Brewery Field.
It wasn't the Electric Brewery Field then, I don't think, but it was Bridgend.
It's always electric in my heart.
So, yeah, we've won our last game playing in Bridgend against the Ospreys. 31-20, we beat them quite convincingly that day. That was during the COVID period, of course, when crowds weren't allowed at games. So, we got a good winning record at Bridgend. I like Swansea. I tell you what, we didn't have a bad team that day. I'll just quickly read you out the team. Josh Lewis, Jonah Holmes, your favourite, Gav. You like Jonah Holmes, don't you?
I do.
Anira Owen, Jamie Roberts, Ashton Hewitt, Sam Davis at 10, Gonzalo Bertranu, scrum half. And then you had
line, isn't it?
Not bad, is it? And then you had Brock, Richard Ibbard, Lloyd Fairbrother. That's a pretty decent front row. Joe Davis, Joe Maximu, remember him?
Yes. Was he Irish? Have I imagined that?
Yeah, from Connaught, wasn't he?
From Connaught, yeah.
Yeah. Really big guy and wasn't as physical as what his size should be.
Yeah,
he was pretty lightweight. For a guy of his size and stature, I always thought he was lightweight. Well, I was trying to be diplomatic, wasn't I, Gareth? I didn't want to say he was crap. Ross Moriarty, Harry Keddy, and Al Wainwright. That was a pretty decent team.
Oh, that's a proper team, yeah.
Oh, we had a decent season that year as well. Dean Ryan's first and second seasons were pretty good. It was just the next season after is where it started to go tits up. And then obviously it only lasted one game into the season after that. But so our last visit to Bridgend, we won. It's good. Something to cling to. Gareth, what are your thoughts heading into this one? Ospreys away.
I was putting aside everything off field is hard because you think emotions do drive a lot when you're playing the game of rugby. It's not a game that we can't win. You know, we've been pretty tough to beat. We perform like we have been at home and away in Munster. I think we'll certainly be in the fight. Am I right in thinking no internationals?
I don't think there'll be any internationals for this game.
No, there'll be none there, no.
So,
camp, yeah.
You know, we have to say that does favour us, only losing 2. I imagine Shea Goat's injured as well, the way he didn't put his foot down when he was carried off.
Didn't look good, did it? I can't
No, it
imagine him
didn't
being
look good,
involved.
which is a
for this week.
massive shame.
Yeah.
But they will be missing more players than us, and they'll be missing some very, very good players. People like Dan Edwards, who I'm a huge, huge fan of. I think it's going to be a great game in torrid conditions. That pitch I caught the end of the
It's not
Ospreys
great,
game
is it?
after us.
That Bridgend pitch is not great.
It's going to be one for the purists, isn't it? Looking forward to being with the Ospreys crowd. I think it'll be good fun. But yeah, I think it's a game we can go and win. You know, if you're going to target games, you should be targeting the Welsh derbies. There's no reason why we can't win it. But, you know, then again, the Ospreys are going to be bang up for it as well. I'm looking forward to it. I think it should be a good day. Again, I want to see a good team picked by us because there is a break then.
Yeah.
I want us to go strong. I don't want to see mass rotation now after that Munster game.
But I was thinking, right, about the team we could potentially put out. Right. We could put out on Saturday. And if they put that team out, I genuinely can't see us losing. I can't believe I'm saying these words.
Hang on a minute now. Hang on.
Oh,
say that
who's turning
again,
into Gareth now?
but
Gareth?
slower.
Who's turned into Gareth now?
We are recording, right?
Yeah. I genuinely think if we put out the strongest possible team we have, right, which would be, and I don't like doing this, but I think we have to for this game. Right, Hunt, Brody, and I know it's the wrong way around, Martinez, right?
Or Jones.
Owen Jones, right? Levi and Woodman,
Oh, I go Seb Davis. I would.
second row, or Seb Davis.
Okay.
Keddy, Bedell, Shane Lewis-Hughes.
Okay.
Rodri at 9, Tinas, Aniron, Anisi, Dyer, Angus, Di Richards. That's pretty much full strength.
Oh, I think you're bullish, Gav. I love it.
He said earlier in this pod not to sound old Gareth, and he has literally just sounded like Gareth.
I love it, Gav. I think, yeah. And do you know what? The good thing is about that team you picked, you think, oh, well, actually, you know, is Big Mac back? Is, you know, maybe you said, yeah, is he back? You mentioned Seb. We've got options as well.
Thomas Young.
Just give us a bit of hope. And who plays at 9 is going to be an interesting one without the GOAT.
It'll be Rodri. I think it'd be Rodri. The biggest question is who backs Rodri up? Because we've barely seen Niall Armstrong now. Remember him? He was doing really well, and then he just hasn't been in the side for whatever reason. He has played for Pontypool, or do you go for Morgan Allen, who's been playing for Pontypool?
Morgan Lloyd.
Morgan Allen. Morgan Lloyd. That was as bad as you saying Ben Mee, that was. He played for the Ospreys, didn't he, Morgan Allen? Did he play for the Ospreys, Morgan Allen? Or I just made that up?
Morgan Allen just sounds like one of those generic Welsh names that if you were like making up Welsh names for a computer game, Morgan Allen is one of the names you would come up with.
He did play for the Ospreys. Sorry, there was a player called Morgan Allen who did play for the Ospreys. Go on.
We can put a good. Gav said we can put a good side out, can't we? So we are on relative good form. Sometimes we say good form, and you think, well, actually, it's good form for us. Like not many teams would maybe, you know, they've got a different perspective, but we need to win on the road at some point. If we're in the fight, anything can happen, and I think them missing more key players than us is vital. But yeah, he's got to get selection right again, and it will be interesting to see who is back, but there's still competition. Who plays in the back row will be interesting.
I think picking anyone other than the strongest team is stupid.
Oh, you got to pick strong. Welsh Derby, for goodness sake.
He's got to go strong.
So
Welsh Derby, and there's a break coming up.
How many Ospreys players are away at international camp?
Right, this is what I was about to come on to. Okay, here's the thing: Dragons have 2 players away with Wales, as we know. The Ospreys have 7 players away with Wales, right? However, they still have a very strong squad. And I would argue they've got a stronger squad than we have, okay? Because these are some of the names they'll still have available for them. They're still going to have Morgan Morse. They're going to have Rhys Davies. They'll have Moriarty, Keenan Giles, James Ratty, Morgan Morris, Kieran Williams, Dan Cassandi. They're still going to have a very strong squad, Ospreys. That's a pretty good team. Ryan Smith, who was player of the match.
Second row is going to be strong for the Ospreys, and us missing Carter is a blow, isn't it?
Yeah. Lewis Lloyd, I've been very impressed with. He's a tidy player. Really like him. I still make Ospreys big favourites, even though they lost more Welsh players than us, because they got quality and who's in depth and we haven't.
Who's going to play 10 for them? Not Jack Walsh, is it?
It'll be Jack Walsh. Jack Walsh, forgot about him. He's
a good player, mind. He's a very good player, but is 10 his best position? I don't
He's a 15, really.
He's a 15. It's like picking Angus at 10, and he's not really a 10.
He can play there, like Angus can play there, but
but they're not ideal. I think we can get at him a little bit, although he often has a good game against us.
He doesn't have Ronnie Parade though. He's made a few howlers when he's played us with Ronnie Parade. The problem is he's not played a Ronnie Parade, do we? So it's pretty relevant now.
Dan Edwards missing is just a huge. I think Carter and Dan Edwards are the biggest miss from each side, personally.
So that's my point. The point is yes, Ospreys have lost more players than us to Wales, but they've still got a lot of quality players to choose from. Also, as well, I think when it comes to the Ospreys, let's be honest, we all know what the Ospreys are about. They're a very easy team to work out, aren't they? They're a physical team, strong set piece. I've always said that they've got the best forward pack out of all the regions. And as the old saying goes, forwards win matches, backs decide by how much. And I think that's certainly true of the Ospreys. Did any of you watch the games where they lost to Glasgow and Munster in Bridgend?
No.
So if we look at those games, Ospreys lost because they were overpowered. And I don't know if we can outpower the Ospreys, but we definitely need to have parity up front if we're going to have a chance of beating them. Because this is Ospreys' DNA. It's all about their forwards. It's about their pack. Solid
we're
set
turning
piece.
into that side now.
We are.
We're good at rolling mauls. You know.
No, I think we can take them on up front.
But what I'm saying is, can we overpower them though, like Glasgow and Munster did? Because that's why they beat the Ospreys. They overpowered them up front. Can we, the Dragons, do you think we can do that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure if we can, but I definitely think that we can get some parity up front, but I'm not sure if we can overpower them. So
the second row is maybe a touch of a concern because Carter I think he is.
But we got good options though.
But we do have options. Front row's very good for us, especially we've got options off the bench, I feel.
I don't know if Screech can be available, but you got Seb Davis, you got Levi Douglas. You can play Woodman. Might be an
gone
idea.
Well there. He has gone well there, to be fair. I do think on that pitch, I would like to see if Big Mac was back to play 8, but I think we can take them on up front. I think we do have the power. And if they are missing leaders behind, they're missing both 9s.
They are.
Both 9s and their 10. And okay, we probably sadly will miss the GOAT through injury, but I think our dictators like Angus will be playing. Oh, we're going to do them.
No, we'll still have a strong side. We will put out, when we look at the team sheets on Friday, we'll look at it and go, that's a tidy side. And you never know, and there might be a surprise or two. Maybe Paya come back, maybe Big Mac might come. We don't know, because we were told last week there are players to come back.
Yeah.
So we know Seb Davis came back, so we'll just wait and see. So for this game, I'm not a coach, by the way. Obviously, I'm not Philo. Given the opposition, given the conditions, I would be going.
Philo? Why am I
not
on
Philo.
pod?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't pick the team. I wish I could, but I don't. If it was me, though, if I was Philo, given the conditions, given the team we're playing, I would be going a 6-2 split on the bench.
Yeah,
And I'd be looking to pick the bulkiest pack I can, which is why I'm reluctant to put Woodman in there. Because I think you need a lot of bulk in that second row. But that's why I would be doing it. I would be going with a 6-2 split. I'd be trying to match them up front and make it an arm wrestle. But the question is, I know you think we got the power to overpower them, but I'm not sure if we have, but can we get parity up front? If we can take them on up front, I think we got a very good chance.
I do think, is he a bit light for second row? And when he was picked against Scarlets, I thought, but then he had a great game.
Oh, he did, yeah.
And you think, well, actually, maybe, we can outwork them because he's quicker off the floor than maybe some lumbering locks. It should be a good game though, shouldn't it? It is a shame the internationals aren't playing though, even if it would maybe tip the balance even more in their favour. But I do think that is a shame. You want to see these top players going at each other.
If Big Mac is not available, it will be interesting to see who we pick at 8. I got a feeling the Philo will go Shane Lewis-Hughes.
Yeah, so do I.
Because he's picked him there already this season. He's talked about him being an option there in the future. You could go Keddy at 8. I think I would prefer
I'd
Keddy
rather
at 8,
see
actually.
Keddy at 8.
I would rather go Shane
Yeah.
Lewis-Hughes at 6. I don't know
And
if Thomas
Keddy at
Young's
8.
going to be available, but Beddle at 7, or Thomas Young at 7 and have Beddle on the bench, and Keddy at 8, personally.
Yeah,
Keddy's been carrying brilliantly.
Well, didn't he? Hang on, he played at 8 against Connacht, didn't he? When he had an outstanding game. I'm
did.
sure
Yeah,
he played
he
at
did.
8. So
He did.
there's options. We have got good options to choose from.
He loves the ball, Keddy, doesn't he? He's always looking for it.
Yeah, I'd have Keddy at 8, Beddle or Thomas Young at 7, and then either Woodman or. Then again, no, I've said I want Big Mac. I think I want it's a game for Big Mac.
Well, we don't know if he's fit though, do we? If he's fit, he would, because we need to take the Ospreys on up front. He's the person we need because that's a play that can get you over the game line. But I don't know if he's fit or not. If he is, he's got to be in that 23 to face Ospreys. He's the kind of player we need if we're going to match him physically. He's a big man and he gets you over the game line. And we saw how good he was against Leinster.
I would start Beddle, I think.
Would you? I'd be leaning towards Young because I just alternate and give him a little bit of a breather. Maybe get him coming off the bench.
I would start him just to really kind of slow them down so the forwards can't get ahead of steam up. Because that's the one thing he disrupts play. And if you disrupt in their pack and slowing their pack down, I don't think their backs are as strong. So
they got a good back. So they got Phil Cocker-Singer. He's been going well for them. Okay, they want to have Watkin, but they got Keith there, haven't they? He's a good player. Dan Cassande, he's a really good player. Smart signing from the Cheetahs.
Oh, no, they are good. I'm not saying they're poor. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
If we can not let the forwards go on the front foot and slow them down and just break up play and be a bit disruptive, we stand a better chance.
Oh, definitely. I think if we nullify them up front or get Paddy up front, then I think that slows them down a bit. So it all starts up front for me with the Ospreys, which is why I'd be looking to do a 6-2 split. And try and get on the front foot with them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to predictions then. Gavin, what is your prediction?
Dragons by 6.
Oh.
Whoa, go on, Gav.
Hello.
Look at that.
Hello, Mr. Positive.
Love it.
Oh, I might be entirely wrong, but Jesus.
Wow, okay.
You only live once, don't you?
Gareth?
Oh, Dragons by 2.
Okay, not so common, but still Dragons win. This is positive, boys. This is really positive.
Don't do it, Jamie.
To be fair, this is really
you
positive.
look too smug. You're going to bring us down in here.
Put him on your list.
No, this is really positive. I'm going Ospreys by 7.
I knew that was happening. I knew it was happening.
I am. That's serious now. Listen, this is a winnable game. I think we'll take a really good team there. It'll be an arm wrestle. I don't think it's going to be pretty.
No,
especially on that pitch.
Hideous.
I think it could be a really turgid game, one for the purists, as they say. I'm looking at the Met Office app now for Bridgend on Saturday. Now, obviously, this will change. It could easily change because we're very early in the week. It does say cloudy. I'm not seeing any rain forecast for Saturday night or indeed Saturday. But like I said, it could all change. Wouldn't surprise me if we get a weather warning for a new storm. But I mean, if it turns into a mud fest pissing down with rain, it's going to be a really tough watch, I think.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be a feast of running rugby.
No, and also as well, we have to bear in mind the Ospreys right now. They are emotionally charged, and with everything that's going on, they are going to be determined to prove a point. And they will want to beat us. They will want to make an example and prove their point. That's the other thing that worries me as well. Now, emotion can work both ways. It can go against you.
Yeah.
But it can also work for you. And that's the thing for the Ospreys, because there might be more to come out this week. More news, more revelations, more bad news for the Ospreys. I think that just galvanizes them even more. So, yeah, it's a shame, really, because I really was looking forward to this game a few weeks ago. And now with everything going on, it's spoiled it a bit, doesn't it?
It has a bit.
It's put a dampener on it. No Welsh internationals, I think, devalues it straight away. It's a Welsh derby. You want to see the Welsh internationals involved. And then with all this going on in the background, it's going to be emotional. There's going to be...
Well, you
It's a
want to go
shame.
down there and, not abuse in the wrong sense of the way, but in the right sense of the way, abuse the opposition and have a bit of banter with the fans and get stuck into them. And, if we lose,
Doesn't feel like it's that
we'll
kind
take on
of
the chin. And I think
time to do it now, does it? It doesn't feel like it's that right moment to do so.
Yeah, I don't want to be having a go at them that much. I mean, that might change after a beer. But
I have been at rugby with you, Gareth. I know exactly how long they'll last.
You get football hooligans. Gav's a rugby hooligan. I'm telling you.
Dear me.
He's a passionate voice of the terrace.
He is.
Thanks, Elliot. I did that. So on that, actually, you mentioned add Jamie to my list. I've got to mention my list, actually, because, we've had Warburton, Lynn Jones.
Hang on, what list is this now?
It's the get fucked list.
The get
So
fucked list.
Warburton's
right, okay.
been on the Lynn, WLU in general, and this week
when I
Alex-
suggested we'd lose to
well, no,
Newcastle.
you were close to the list. You didn't quite, you've got to do a bit more to get on it, but you were teetering towards it.
Come on, then, who's on this list?
Cuthbert. I've got another nickname for him, but I won't repeat on the pod.
Right, steady on now. Come on.
Yeah, I won't say that.
Right, why is Alex Cuthbert on your...
Well, first of all, he sniggers when he talks about the Dragons all the time. But last week, when he was on Chum 5, well, they've had it as well, Chum 5, he was asked, about the Dragons improving, 4 on the bounce at home, good home form. And he said, yeah, but who have they beat, though? We can't win then, can we, Alex? Like, we lose games, you have a go at us. We win games, which is what you wanted. You still have a go at us. What do you mean, who have we beat? Well, we've beat good teams, thank you very much. Bundyaki, I think, would count himself and his comrades pretty good side. We've put teams away.
Bundyaki is still in an Iron Owens pocket.
Exactly.
We have actually beaten teams, with the exception of Scarlets. We've beaten teams who've got bigger budgets than us. Leon,
exactly.
Connacht, Newcastle, I'm pretty sure got a bigger budget than we have.
Well, they do now, yeah.
So, Cuthbert, you can get fucked. And for all your sniggering, you can continuously get fucked.
It's a fair point you make, though, because this is something I've noticed.
No,
I don't know what it is about Alex Cuthbert, but I don't think he likes us very much. He's always making snarky digs, isn't he? On Scrum 5 and on that podcast he does with Dylan Lewis and Gareth Anscombe. I have noticed as well. Gareth, you are right. He does make a lot of snarky digs. He was doing punditry for our game, wasn't he, on Friday night for Premier Sports in Munster. And to be fair, he was okay. He was actually all right. But I don't like what he does on Scrum 5. He does make digs and snarky comments. There was one he made before, and Ashton, which just blindly agreed with him, which was really disappointing. He was basically questioning, saying, have the Dragons been good or the other teams have been bad? Implying that we haven't been good at all. And Ashton was just like, yeah, I agree, which I thought, come on, Ashton, now.
Yeah.
That should have been Ashton saying, look, the boys have been working hard. They've built up to this and, let's not take anything away from their win. But I think it's fair criticism. Yeah, Alex is very snotty about this. I don't know why.
Well, you know Alex Cuthbert's issue, don't you? Alex Cuthbert was in the Beatles. He was in the Great Welsh team, but he was Pete Best. He was the one who really wasn't as good as the others. So, I understand why he's got a chip on his shoulder, because, if you were surrounded by greatness and you were fairly mediocre, I get it. But
it doesn't really explain why he has digs at us, though. I don't know what it is.
He likes punching down because that's all he's got.
Yeah, he's an arsehole, isn't he? So, yeah. And obviously, why... well, I can tell him to get fucked, but I can't say he's an arsehole. Goes hand in hand, doesn't it? And if Dylan Lewis listens to it, what are you chumming up to him? Come on our pod, Dylan. Never mind.
Bears he mates, mind. You'd be telling him this now.
He can tell him. And Y11, obviously...
they can definitely
they're
get
in the Hall of Fame of
they can
get fucked. We'll publish the list at the end of the season. They'll be right at the top. Yeah.
Okay. On that note, I think we'll end it here, I think.
Oh, for God's sake.
Anything else now before we wrap it up?
Just the 2 hours.
Yeah. Who's that guy that keeps moaning about the length of the pod?
I
You're
think
not
he's
gonna like this,
joking, and I think he wants them to be longer.
Well,
So,
do you know what? I've had people say to me, I really enjoy listening because like I'm driving or walking the dog. I mean, that guy saying he listens to us on his 10-hour shifts, so he wants a longer pod. The people have spoken. So stop moaning, Chris Pascoe.
He should, he should listen to Bandsplaining Us.
Yeah.
Last Bandsplain episode, 4.5 hours.
Exactly. Yeah. That's common now in the podcast world. This has been a long episode, but we said it from the get-go. There's a lot to talk about, the stuff in Y11, and we're going to talk about it. We're not going to skip over it. It's right to talk about this. So I know some of you do enjoy the long pods. So yeah, we don't intentionally aim for 2-hour pods, but sometimes that's just the way it is, as I've said many times before. Right, let's wrap it up then. Gavin, Gareth, thank you as always. Yeah, enjoyed that tonight. That was good. Thank you to our friends at the Riverside Sports Bar for their continued support of the pod. And thank you for listening. I will speak to you again very soon. Should we say it all together now? 1, 2, 3. Up the dragons. Oh, for fuck's sake, Gavin. You were told. Right, we're going to do it again. And this time, put a bit of effort into it, please. Right. We'll speak to you again very soon. Up the dragons. Oh, he's done it again. Oh, that's it now. We're ending it there. Absolutely hopeless.
I'm a bass player, mate. I need the drummer to, throw me a nod so I know when to come in.
Oh, absolutely hopeless. That's it for us. Ta-ra.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.